Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to give you an eyeshadow tutorial and I'm considering this one called Bold Eyeshadow Over 40, hence the title. But I did something kind of neutral recently and I thought I'm gonna jazz it up and do something kind of crazy, although my crazy isn't honestly that crazy. Like, you know, not a ton of liner, not a flirty giant fake lash. I still think it's practical, so give it a try. Will it have maybe an unusual color in there like yellow or red? Possibly, but don't be afraid. I know that there are sort of rules and it seems that more and more people are breaking them and disregarding them, and thank you, because if I see one more YouTube video by a 30-something YouTuber that says, stop doing this for your makeup if you're over 40 or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones, don't get me wrong. Wayne Goss, you know, he'll give, there's makeup artists out there that give sound advice and it's great. They also, what's wonderful about them and people like Shawn Richards and the Pixie Woo sisters is they're not really about rules. They sort of have techniques that can help you look, you know, less aged possibly. But I just get really tired of people who look very fresh-faced and young and talk about mature. Like, I'm going to do a mature woman tutorial. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't even want to call this something over 40, but to be honest with you, that's kind of what draws in the audience. So I got to think about that. I got to work on my analytics, people. All right, so we're going to work with some neutral base colors. I always find that a base shade is great. Obviously, this isn't necessary for more, you know, daring things, editorial, runway, that kind of thing. But in my world, I love something like this, or even better, like this. This is Coastal Scents. This is a matte, very neutral eyeshadow palette. It's got 20 colors, very similar, cools and warms. I say similar meaning like you can really just make a gradual change based on, do you want a light taupe, a medium taupe? And then for the fun, although there is some bold stuff, like I feel like that's pretty bold, right? Like those have got some, you know, intensity to them. But for some real fun, Juvia's Place, the Magic Palette. This is the one that was voted not in my Instagram You Pick My Makeup video. This was my choice that people didn't pick, but a lot of you did want it. So I'm like, what a great, fun palette to pick some good colors. I'm gonna zoom you in. Oh, I chatted for a while. My apologies. Tucking my hair behind. I've got everything on. How are my lids? Oh good, they're not creasing. I'm just wearing the black opal stick foundation on my eyelids and powder, and I didn't do anything else, so I was afraid that maybe things were going to be creasing up a bit, but they have not, so that is good news. I am going to just dig in with a fluffy brush, and I always start with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with a kind of medium neutral shade. We'll see. And let's just kind of, so what I do is I set the, I guess this is called the transition shade. Also, I'm going to try to keep my mouth closed. I mean, I'm going to talk, but I do this thing where I go. So I know that that's not like the funnest thing to look at. So I just sort of start at the center of the eyelid, meaning the center up and down, and it's kind of in the brow bone, but I'm also going a little bit above. I used to be really scared of filling in this space up to my eyebrow. I used to just kind of keep everything down here, but I feel like lately, maybe it's a hooded eye, maybe it's that I really do have a lot of lid space to fill in. Also, what I've seen more in professional artistry is that there's a lot of, there's shade coming into the nose bridge. I don't want to go too much. I mean, obviously I'm doing what I can to compensate for the darkness inside there, but just to kind of give depth, dimension, open things up a bit, I think it all helps. So now I'm going to just build that with the darker kind of aubergine shade on the end. And this is going so also in the middle, but just not as high. Or windshield wipering so that it goes back and forth, back and forth. And it kind of comes down here, and people do the halo eye where they put the dark shade right there, and that is definitely something, a possibility, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. Going in with another brush. I'm just keeping my brushes separate, and I think because I will go in with Faso, I'm going in with this other kind of eggplant in the Coastal Scents. It's a deep purple, and I am just going in the corner. What I'm trying to achieve is where when you look at the eye, you can't see where the colors begin and end, but you can see that there are several shades. I think that's what I love about just some of those, you know, we kind of go, oh, Instagram makeup, is it getting a little bit drag queen, or has it? Yes, but in some ways, some of them are just so, some of the looks, you know, you're mesmerized because it's layer after layer of shade range. Now, I'm not going to take any of the brushes I've already used. I'm going to take a brush that doesn't have any shadow on it, and I'm just going to swirl that around. I'm not like pushing hard, and I'm not you know, I'm kind of just keeping it in a little space. I'm going to go under my brow bone with this kind of white pink. It's not really important. I mean, I just want to get that right there. I might, sometimes what you can do is when you get too much white, I just take my first taupey brush, kind of go like that. Whatever you do, whatever colors you choose, just blend, 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 and clean up. That is the key. That is what sets apart kind of the ones that look amazing on camera versus just sort of your everyday, I slapped on mascara and like, you know, an eye pencil. I think it's when you blend and you clean up, and then it just looks sharp, and it doesn't matter what colors you use, in my opinion. I need a nice, flat, dense brush, and I'm going to use setting spray, and I'm going to go in to this shade right here, Faso. See that? It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. You can spray your brush before you put it in the shadow. I almost said something else. Or after. I kind of do both, actually. Oh, I don't know if I already said this. Juvia's Place is now at Ulta. Yes. Sometimes what I do is I work it a little bit on the back of my hand, because sometimes when you mix, you know, two mediums, you want to make sure you don't have any chunks. And I am laying this on all the way up where I can feel my crease, my eyeball ends. You see that? And I haven't gone in yet here. Let's see if there's something special. Oh, that is beautiful. Sometimes what I have found is that if you work, when you do the kind of the wet trick with the eyeshadow, if you've been going in one direction, go in another direction, because then it shifts the pigment so that the duochrome can kind of either lay flat, stand up. I don't know what it's doing. I'm gonna shadow down there. So, like I said, I'm gonna follow my own advice, and I'm gonna go in. I've just got some foundation here. I'm going in with my Wet n Wild sponge, and I'm just gonna make sure things are clean. Now what I'm gonna do is go back into the Coastal Scents palette, and I'm gonna use just an edge, just something that has a little, that's stiff, has kind of more concentration of bristles, and I'm going into the taupe. That's sort of, actually it's more of the aubergine. Making sure it's clean, because last thing I want is fallout after I just did all that cleanup. And actually, you might want to do this before you do the cleanup. I just forgot. I like shadow on my lower lid, diffused. I don't do pencil in the waterline or anything like that, because I feel like anytime I've done that or a makeup artist has done that, I feel like my eyes just all of a sudden look closed and small. So it's this guy. I can totally get it in Rite Aid. Might be a little more glittery than I want. Now I'm gonna pile on mascara. If you do lashes, this would be a great time to do lashes. I'm using the Essence Instant Volume Boost. I think the light changed in here. I feel like the sun came through and now everything has kind of a glow. I mean, like I said, what's important is blending, and I hope I got clean edges. That's what I want, and I think I did. I think I did. Because sometimes even when we're kind of looking at all angles, I'll see later if I like take a couple of selfies where, you know, my shadow didn't come out as far as on this side, as on this side, stuff like that. But for the most part, I think I did it. So what do you think, you guys? Is this too bold or just right? Kind of fun? I did finish off with this Milani. It is the Champagne Plump Keep It Full Lip Gloss, Lip Plumper, and it just is so nice, and you guys love it when I use it. I'm also lined my lips in Tawny Rose by Jouer, because I feel like it just does such a good job. Okay. So there you have it. I'll list everything below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like bold looks as much as you like neutral looks. And if you are happy to see over 40 videos that break the mold, click that thumbs up button. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next time. Bye.